Welcome to Nolan Knows. Let's take a look at the Squirrel of the Week. Our Squirrel of the Week this week is a rapper named Waka Flocka Flame, who's a walking, flocking hot mess. He wants to run for the President of the United States. I looked at his video and I listened to what he had to say. You know, even a stop clock is right twice a day. He wants to legalize marijuana. I see no problem with that. After that, things go downhill and rather quickly. He, for instance, wants people who have a size 13 shoe to quit walking on the streets. We should all take buses and trains and taxis instead of walking. I find that particularly offensive because I have a size 13 shoe. There is not a whole lot else left to like about this guy in the way of presidential material. I just had this vision of him stepping out of the White House portico, having a news conference, and watching the reporters as they address him as President Flame or President Waka Flocka. I don't think he's going to win. He has a right to run, and it'll be entertaining. It's probably more about publicity than anything else, but if you ask me, that nut is our Squirrel of the Week. It's time now for Missed in the Media. Our Missed in the Media this week deals with cybersecurity because Congress has decided that the federal government should stick its hands into cybersecurity to help protect major corporations. This is the result of the attack on Target and also Sony, and they think somehow they're going to be able to help solve the problem. I'm not sure how they think the government is so good at it. I mean, after all, people did hack the White House and they hacked the State Department. So I don't think that they're necessarily the great paragon of cybersecurity virtue. Here are a couple of problems that you have with this. One, you've got one organization coming up with a plan, and you really should have a diverse set of people working on cybersecurity. That way, if they get through to one corporation, they don't get through to the others. The other problem that you're going to have here is if the government is in charge, corporations will rely on them. Why should we spend a lot of money on cybersecurity when the government will do it for us? And on top of that, the next problem is, wow, somebody hacked in. It's not our fault, it's the government's fault. This is a lousy piece of legislation. Leave cybersecurity for corporations up to corporations. Let them all diversify and come up with their own plans. We'll all be a lot safer. Now, let's look at the news. In the news today, the Internal Revenue Service. Thousands and thousands of pages of regulations. It's a daunting task doing your taxes. That's why we have computer software programs that can cover all the variables and tell you what to put on what line. You also need accountants, and by God, it's difficult. It's a terrible system. And I'll get into that in just a minute, but I want to talk about what the IRS has done. If you were among the more than half the people who called the IRS for help, you didn't get an answer. They didn't answer you because they didn't have the money to man the phones. People were literally lining up outside IRS offices in an attempt to get in the door and ask people questions about how to fill out the tax forms they'll get punished for filling out wrong. Well, John Koskinen said that the reason they were shorthanded is because Congress cut their budget. In the meantime, they spent millions of dollars paying union workers not to work at the IRS, but to do the union's bidding. That was on your tax dollar. They also paid themselves millions and millions of dollars in bonuses. What the IRS effectively did is try to get you as angry as they could at Congress so that Congress would give them more money. Instead of caring about you first, they cared about themselves first. Let's get rid of the tax on productivity. Let's get rid of the IRS. Let's go to the fair tax.